I would just pick up the plastic that I found and throw it away. Thought to myself, I was like, well, maybe I should start collecting some of the stuff. So that's sort of, once I had amassed enough of a collection, which did not take long, and even just in the 7 years that I've been picking this plastic up, I can see that it's worse. There is some sort of parallel between the kind of natural world and the plastic, and I think that's what I'm trying to show a little bit. This work specifically, they're all new pieces, they're all new kind of what I call patterns. I mean, I guess they're more like collages, but in the same way I like to do with my portraiture, which is to basically take the everyman, you know, and elevate him. The real heroes in this world are everyday people. Those are the stories I like the most, and like that's when I feel like I have such a great opportunity as an artist or photographer to tell this person's story or represent this person in a way that celebrates them, maybe in a way that they've never been celebrated before, or even just to see them. And so with the plastic, in a weird way, I'm trying to make it look expensive and kind of lush and, you know, special, even though it's just a plastic lighter. And it's this really negative thing, but I'm hopefully, I don't know, somehow making these objects look, I don't know, elevated. Like any collection, you only really just start to see its value once you have multiples. And then also sorting it is so key. Like earlier when I was working on the piece with the plastic utensils, I just had them all in a bucket together. But once I separated out the forks and the knives and the spoons and the it kind of becomes more powerful as opposed to just being in this bucket of trash. Oh, I have a lot of everything. I have some stuff that I'm not actually sure what it is. That I have a lot of stuff from the fishing industry. And so they have spacers, plastic spacers that sit between the boxes, and then the lines, I mean the ropes and the lines, and then glow sticks, which I mentioned earlier. I've been told that they are used by fishermen to lure the fish. So they'll probably put them all the way around the net because there's no shortage of those. Shotgun shells. I mean, we don't have guns here in Bermuda, or it's very hard to, I mean, there's very few people who have a gun and very few people have a shotgun, but I have hundreds of shotgun shells, so I don't know if anyone knows where they come from. That'd be good to know. Lighters, one of my favorite things to find. I don't know why. Toothbrushes, razors, hypodermic needles, light bulbs, pens, toys, and I will sort things by object, or I'll sort it by color or texture. Dental flossers, they seem like a huge waste. I'd say white is probably the most common color, and then black, blue. But yeah, definitely if I see something pink, I get really excited. And I mean, the other thing I found a lot of in the last year and a half is PPE. I don't actually, I don't keep it, but yeah, there's masks everywhere, and there's plastic in those people, and rubber gloves, and so there's definitely been more of that with the pandemic. Bottle caps, probably the most common single item I find. And I'm finding the bottle caps, so you gotta wonder, where are the bottles? And a straw is a good example of something that like I would just have kind of, you know, maybe I would just have a pile of lots of red plastic, or, you know, plastic that I haven't sorted yet. Once I started to take the straws and the sticks, like skewer sticks or lollipop sticks, separate that out, it's amazing how many there are. And then I have the kind of bigger stuff. So I do collect the large, I call them like, yeah, like the kind of plastic jerry can things. Hard hats, probably have 7 hard hats. And shoes. Shoes is another, so bottle caps and shoes are big ones. Yeah, much to my husband's chagrin, I think I have about 500 old flip-flops or shoes in my basement, maybe more. Sorry, honey. Originally, I thought I would be a photojournalist, and that's sort of the area I trained in. My dad, we went to New York before I went to Wales, and my dad bought me a camera in New York, and that was sort of my first proper camera. But yeah, in 1993, it was a Pentax, and we bought it at B&H. It was my first purchase at B&H, which is...
B&H even back me up.
I mean, I see it as a sort of mode of storytelling. That's the way I look at it, that it's a vehicle for me to tell a story, whether it's, a fantastical, fictional story, or, someone's truth, and trying to get that on film and resonating with it, people. And I think the medium of photography, it has certain things, attributes that you can't have with the written word, or even with a moving image, because of the stillness of it, and you have parameters which you have to frame things in, and I like the challenge of that. There's kind of this quiet moment and this period between the viewer and the work that it's really their perception of it, their interpretation of it. You know, this image on the wall is telling the whole story. And I started just doing I didn't realize what I was doing, but I was doing these little flat lays with botanicals, and then moved back to Bermuda and really started doing that in earnest, and just really enjoying playing with the textures and the colors of the flowers. And what I found was that, you know, 15 years earlier, I had hated the kind of quiet and the control you have to have maybe with a flat lay. I hated that, but now I saw it as sort of like a kind of therapy. It's sort of a counterpoint to what most of my work is. I don't want to be too preachy about it, but I think that if it sparks something in somebody to say like, okay, well maybe I do have that bag in my car, maybe I don't need to take a plastic bag. You know, I'm living in this world, I'm using plastic, I'm consuming plastic. I'm not really telling anyone what to do. I would say pick up after yourself, be cognizant. If you could make a switch to something that's not single-use plastic, then that's great. And that's what's so fantastic about what the Bermuda government's done. So, you know, they're making a shift to ban single-use plastic. The show is called Flotsam and Jetsam, and it's going to be at the Bermuda National Gallery. It's going to be opening on the 12th of November. So Bermuda National Gallery, Keep Bermuda Beautiful, and myself, we've devised of this and worked on it. And we really hope as many people as possible can just go in to see the work and maybe look at this plastic in a way that you haven't looked at it before.